there, I'm Bruce. Today I'm going to show you how I made this Fireplace Bellows. So when I drew this shape, the two sides were slightly different. I wanted them to be a bit more symmetrical. So I picked this trick up somewhere, I don't know, I probably saw Jimmy DeResta or somebody do it, is choose the side that you want, find your center point, choose the side you want. I went ahead and cut that side out, folded it on the center point, and then traced that other side. And what you then end up with is two sides that are at least perfectly equal to one another because you used one side to mirror the other. So it worked out pretty well. I used a bandsaw to cut out the pieces, and then I shaped them while they were still stuck together by some carpet tape. The idea is that I took this to the bandsaw and cut that tip off. So what I'll do is glue that here to the front, and that will create my hinge for the bellows. Then this will be connected via leather and some upholstery tacks, and that will be the hinge part of where it will give and move. The leather I'm using is 5.5 ounce, and I found this to be the most difficult part, just trying to figure out how much to use. It was a really odd shape, and that made it the most difficult. I use contact cement every place where the leather met the wood. The way contact cement works is you apply it to both surfaces, let it dry for about 15 minutes and get tacky, and then when you put it together, it sticks. I wanted to go over how the mechanism works inside of the bellows. I thought it was some super complicated thing years ago when I first saw one, but when I started researching it to make this video, I realized it is just really simple mechanics. So if you saw the hole that was on the outside, that is a drilled hole through and through. This is just an example piece. I drilled that hole all the way through, and then on the inside I took a piece of leather. You can use multiple things. I've even seen someone who used a plastic bag that they secured down, and you basically, this one's not square, but you would secure it on 3 sides here. There's some play in the top. Well, as you open the bellows and suck air in, it comes in from the outside like this into the container that you've created with the leather. Then as you collapse it, the air inside of it pushes this valve shut, and the air is forced out the spout rather than coming back out this hole. So when you suck it in, it comes back in this hole and fills the cavity, and then you force it shut. This flap is pushed shut by the air, and most of the air comes out of the spout. I just thought that was a cool thing, and I wanted to do a quick explanation for you as how that works. Let me know if you found that interesting. Leave me some comments below, or if you have any questions, ask those. I'll be sure to answer them. I drilled out the tip to accept the copper pipe, but the bit I used was not long enough. I couldn't get all the way through the shape that I originally had, so I had to cut it shorter on the bandsaw. I wanted the inside to have a little more of a channel, so I actually used some chisels to just carve that out a bit. Then I just used some epoxy to put in the copper pipe. Some more contact cement, and then it was time to add the upholstery tacks. I found that it was the easiest to start them using some needle nose pliers. Then I was able to hammer them in the rest of the way. I also used my large compass to make sure that the spacing for the upholstery tacks was even. Fitting the leather around the backside of the bellows was also difficult. It was just a matter of working with it and folding it until it could be as airtight as possible. The last piece of leather is added to seal the hinge of the top piece. Then I trimmed off the excess leather, wiped on some mineral oil, and the bellows was done. So I really like the way this project turned out. I used some pretty thick leather for this, so it made it a little bit challenging when I was wrapping it around the ends here. Turned out pretty nice. It's got a nice, heavy, thick feel to it. These antique brass furniture tacks I really like. I think they're a nice statement piece for the contrast between the maple and the dark leather and the brass. I branded my logo in here, and I just used some regular copper pipe for the end here, but it works really good. A lot of our wood stays really wet here, even down on my wood pile, just because it's so humid. And so sometimes we have an outdoor fireplace here and we want to light a fire, but the wood is damp enough that it has a real hard time staying lit. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you following along. If you would, click that subscribe button and the bell notification beside it. That way, each time I upload, you'll get a notification that I have a new video out. And I've got a couple more here on the screen that you can check out. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Hi there, I'm Bruce, and today I'm going to show you how I made this fireplace bellows.